Well, hello guys, welcome back to my channel or welcome to my channel. Today we are looking at a post from Dance with the Devil from the subreddit of Am I the A-hole? So let's get down to it. Now, by the way, this person has been deemed not the a-hole, but let's see about the post and give our own opinions. It says, am I the a-hole for refusing to babysit my niece after my sister didn't show up on time again? Okay, let's get down to it. It says, my sister, 32 female, and I, 28 female, have a pretty good relationship overall. But there's one thing that keeps causing issues. She's always late. Like every single time I agree to babysit my niece, which is 3, by the way, 3 female. She'll always say that she'll be back by a certain time, but then she shows up an hour or more late with no real explanations. I get it, things come up, especially when you are a parent, but it has been happening every time for months now. Last week was the final straw. She asked if I could babysit for just 3 hours so she could run errands. I agreed, and she was supposed to be back by 5 p.m. I had evening plans with my friends and made it clear I needed to leave by 6 at the latest. Of course, 5 p.m. came and went. No sign of her. I called and texted, and she just replied, "Be there soon." She didn't show up until 7 p.m. I got beyond frustrated because I had to cancel my plans. When she finally arrived, I told her that I wasn't going to babysit anymore if she couldn't respect my time. She got defensive, saying I should be more understanding because she's a single mom. It is tough to manage everything on her own. I do feel bad, but at the same time, I feel like she's taking advantage of me. Now my parents are involved and think I should cut her some slack because family helps family. Okay, but I'm just tired of being taken advantage of being taken for granted. Yeah. What I want to say is, if they believe family should help family should be doing this kind of nonsense, why don't they babysit their granddaughter? They should babysit their granddaughter. Let their daughter take advantage of their time like that. Let's see how they'll like it. Maybe suddenly they will not have time. They are too busy to look after their granddaughter. Oh, but it is OP that deserves to have her time just thrown away. This is not cool. Like, if you want somebody to babysit your kid, you don't want them to be angry doing it. And obviously OP is not getting paid. Okay, yeah, I'll say yeah, they're sisters. So frankly, if I'm babysitting for my own sister, I wouldn't want to collect anything from her. But she should respect my time. If not, there's going to be problems. Because this is not cool. If you say you're going to be back by a certain time, make it that way. Because the world doesn't revolve around you. And other people have lives. Maybe they made plans. Even if they didn't, it is their own time now that you're encroaching on. The time they did not agree to give you. That is what you're stealing from them. To me, you're stealing their time now. Anyway, let's get down to the comments. The top comment says, not the a-hole. I was a single mom for a decade and a half, and I was never late to pick up my child. And you know why? Because I really needed people to help. So I didn't want to take advantage of them, even if that meant cutting my own activities short. She ruined your plans. There's no pass for that. Your parents can either babysit or pay for a babysitter. Don't let her do this to you again. If you don't put your foot down now, it will happen again. Yeah, that is exactly how it is. Because if you do somebody like this, next time they will not want to babysit for you. And maybe that time is an actual emergency. Now she's just running errands and stealing OP's time. What if maybe next time it's an emergency and OP is like, if I look after this kid, this woman will practically make me adopt this child and I'll like just throw away my life. No, I have something doing. So now they have to start looking for an emergency babysitter. It is not nice. You don't burn bridges like this because next time they will not want to look after your kid. So what will you do now? You're stuck with your kid, you have an emergency, and suddenly everyone is wicked to you. Because this is how it's going to look like. Forget that you are the one that is the problem. So yeah. Guys, what do you guys think about this? Please put in the comment section down below. Is it okay that people should be entitled to other people's time? Like how OP's sister is? Because OP's sister, frankly, in my opinion, she's not right. So yeah. Let our OP's sister learn to fix her activities down in the time she has stipulated for someone to watch her child, or she should get a new babysitter or make her parents watch the kid. Since her parents are like, oh, cut OP some slack and cut OP's sister some slack, well, they can watch the kid. They can watch the kid. So, yeah, I'd like to see your opinions on it down below. Where we'll move to the next topic. Our next topic is coming from the subreddit of TraumatizeThemBack and submitted by rivuleterie. Okay. I'm sorry for mispronouncing it. This is so okay. Let's get down to it. It says, I am not allowed to leave the table until I eat the food. Get ready then. Let's get ready to clean then. Okay, let's get down to it. It says, this is my first proper post on this sub and also on Reddit in general. But after seeing the post about being forced to eat cilantro, excuse me, who forced someone to eat cilantro? Is this supposed to be a punishment? No, that thing tastes like soup, right? Anyway, let's get on to it. This is crazy. See, it reminds me of a similar event of my childhood. And I figured I might as well share it, as I have been wanting to post this on this subreddit for a while. Okay, for context, number one, I am autistic and I have a lot of problems with eating many foods due to texture not agreeing with my mouth. I've had this problem since childhood, even when no one knew it was because I was autistic, as I had not been diagnosed, and people just often chalked it up to me being a picky eater, and not that certain food sometimes made me gag or sometimes even throw up. Due to my mother being a single parent and having to take care of me all on her own, on occasion I could stay with another family through the support system offered by the government for a couple of weeks per month. This is important to the story, I think. Also, my first language is not English, so I'm unsure if I'm writing everything all proper like. Oh, you're good. There's some stuff, but it's okay. No one is the father of English. Anyway, let's continue. So thank you for your understanding. Yeah, I understand. Anyway, it says this happened when I was staying with another family for the weekend. I was around 6 years old at the time, and I was still very bad at communicating my thoughts and needs to others. It was a Sunday, which meant I was being taken home soon. and I was excited. I was very attached to my mom as a child and didn't particularly enjoy being apart from her. However, unfortunately for me, the lunch time we were having happened to be a dish that did not agree with my sensitive mouth, which is why I informed everyone that I would not be eating. Of course, being bad at explaining myself and with the limited vocabulary of a 6-year old, all I said was that I didn't wish to eat the food. This led to the woman of the couple I was staying at the house of telling me that I would not be allowed to get up from the table until I finish at least half of the food on my plate. Telling a child that was pretty that is pretty common, and if they refuse to eat something, which often causes the child to sulk at the table for a long time, either until the adults would give in or the child finally relents. Well, I was in a hurry to go home back to my mom, so I didn't have the time to sulk. Thus, I forced myself to eat the food quite fast, might I add, which most likely did not help with what followed after. The whole time I was fighting back gags, and with tears in my eyes, I finally finished half of my plate, and as I, as I was told, I turned around in the chair and stood up, and the whole time trying not to make any sudden moves as I could feel something was off. It ended up not helping much, as the woman didn't even manage to start telling me how well I had done by eating it before I threw up all over myself and on the floor. Every kind Everyone kind of just stood in dead silence for a moment. After a while, everyone began cleaning and getting me a change of clothes after washing off the puke. I didn't think this specific family had forced me to eat something I insisted on not being able to consume again after this event. I do sometimes wonder what they told my mom when they took me back, since everything after that was a blur. Oh, wow. Are you kidding me? Like, yeah, there are certain things you don't do, especially as a parent. If a child, however little vocabulary they have, tells you they can't eat certain foods, at least listen to them and try to find out what is the problem. Yeah, most of the time it has to do with the texture, the smell, the way it tastes. And those reasons to me are very valid, because food is not just to fill the stomach. At least, yeah, it has to taste and smell good and have the right texture for it to get there. That's so if you're just treating food like it's medicine, that's wrong. That's wrong. Yeah, some kids are picky eaters and some kids are neurodivergent. You need to put all this into yeah play when dealing with a child, especially when they have problem with certain foods. So yeah, and it's a very common thing. Whether you're neurodivergent or not, picky eaters are very common. So yeah, there's no blame on OP here. On the other hand, there's blame on the person who says you must finish half of your plate instead of finding out why can't you eat this food. Even if OP said it with very limited vocabulary, ask why. Don't you like the food? What in the plate is something like, ask the kid if there's a particular food in that plate that needs to go out so that they can eat the rest. And if it has to do with all the vegetables, then you say, okay, maybe you can put the vegetables in a way the kid will not notice it. Like some people grind it with the sauce that they make the food with. So the kid will not just see vegetables on the plate. Yeah. But you don't just force the kid to eat the food. You normally, it's very like the consequences of that action is usually immediate. Like in this case, you end up cleaning all the puke and changing clothes, and it's not a nice thing. It's not nice. Anyway, the top comment says, you don't realize how much I've wanted to do this. I have a sensitive stomach too, and ever since I was a child, I remember telling my teachers my stomach didn't feel good, and they'd send me to the school nurse who would take your temperature, see you have no fever, then send you back to class. What kind of teachers do this? Nurses. Okay, even I knew as a kid that you didn't have fevers from stomach aches. Yeah, I always wish I could have just thrown up in front of them to show them that I wasn't lying. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, what school nurses though? They are hilarious. Like, they say my stomach feels bad and they are checking temperatures. Well, unless they have like serious infection, I don't think the temperatures will be going up. It's the stomach ache. That's hilarious. Anyway, yeah. Even on a personal note, I remember when I was a child, there are certain foods that I couldn't eat, and there was no way I could like explain it to the people around me, especially when it has to do with sheep meat, anything from sheep or fruit cake. Oh my god, it feels like I'm eating medicine. It tickles the back of my brain in a not so funny way, and I can't eat it. Even looking at it, it's terrible. The sheep meat, it just has to do with the smell. I don't know, for some reason it smells different. And I if you even bring it into the house, before you start doing anything, even if I'm outside, I'll know. And for that day till the meat finish, I won't be able to take anything. I wouldn't be able to do it. If I do, I am throwing up everywhere. Even the smell of the food is enough for me to start just throwing up. So I don't know, I couldn't explain it as a kid that it was because of the smell, but I don't know, maybe my parents noticed, and just like that, no one ate sheep in the house till I grew up. Even before I left the house, no one has ever eaten sheep in our house. So yeah, for some weird reason, it just stopped. And the only time it actually happened was once, and maybe they noticed it. Since then, nothing. So I'll say it worked out good because I couldn't explain myself, but somehow they understood. So yeah, that, to me, I'll say that's on the good side. I know many kids their parents probably didn't really understand, and somehow they ended up eating something they didn't like, or some would actually need to explain to the parents that this is the reason why I don't want this, and the parents probably will still not get it and end up packing puke from the house in order to understand that the kid cannot eat that. So yeah, parents need to be really attentive when it comes to food and their children. There are certain things that are not really, especially if your kid almost has the character of a picky eater, it's always good to be attentive. So guys, with that, I'd love to see your opinions down in the comment section below. What do you guys think about all this? And until the next post, I'll see you guys. Bye.